If you're a gun owner in the U.S., the legal ground just shifted beneath your feet. A major federal court decision dropped this month, and it's rewriting the rules nationwide. 10 major legal shifts are now in effect. The 10th one might just blow your mind. Something that could have landed you in jail last month is now completely within your rights. Make sure you're subscribed. This info could keep you out of handcuffs and federal court. Disclaimer: I'm not an attorney, and this isn't legal counsel. Firearm statutes shift quickly and vary by zip code. Always consult a licensed lawyer and your local ordinances before acting. Law 1. Top-tier constitutional shield. This is the foundation of everything else, the big one. The court has now placed your Second Amendment rights on the same legal level as your freedom of speech or religion. That means any new gun restriction has to survive the toughest legal test in the system. The government can't just claim it might help lower crime or make people feel safer. They now have to prove 3 things to a federal judge. First, there's a real, documented crisis, not just fear or speculation. Second, the law has to be laser-focused on that issue. No overreach. Third, it has to use the least restrictive method possible. The biggest shift? You no longer have to justify your rights. The government has to justify why it should be allowed to limit them, and that's a nearly impossible bar to clear. This single change now threatens over 400 existing federal gun laws. Law 2. Cops can be sued personally. Police officers who violate your gun rights can't hide behind legal shields anymore. For more than 40 years, something called qualified immunity protected them, even when they clearly broke the law. If there wasn't a previous case with nearly identical facts, your lawsuit was tossed. It was a loop that protected bad actors. That's finished. Now, if an officer violates your Second Amendment rights, they can be sued personally. That means their own money, their career, even criminal charges in some cases. In Harris County, Texas, 3 deputies were ordered to pay $2.4 million out of pocket after arresting a man who was legally carrying at a gas station. Law 3. Red flag laws are done. The government can no longer seize your firearms without going through full criminal due process. Red flag laws, which let people petition to have your guns taken without you committing a crime, have been ruled unconstitutional. Here's how it used to work. A neighbor, ex, co-worker, or even a stranger could file a complaint. A judge would hold a secret hearing without you. Based only on their side, they could issue an order. Next thing you know, a SWAT team is at your door at 5 a.m., taking every gun you own. No arrest, no charges, no crime, just your guns gone. That system is now dead. The new rule is simple. No seizure without arrest, no confiscation without charges, and no action without your right to face your accuser. Over 12,000 firearms were seized this way in just 3 years. And if they were secretly taking your guns, what else were they quietly collecting? Law 4. Federal gun registry must be destroyed. Every digital gun record the federal government has been secretly building must be erased within 90 days. This is one of the biggest privacy wins in decades. For years, the ATF has been quietly creating a searchable gun owner database, even though federal law bans a national registry. Here's how they did it. When gun stores closed, their records were sent to the ATF. Legally, those were supposed to stay on paper, but starting around 2013, they began scanning and digitizing them. They built a system that could search by name, address, gun type, and serial number, all in seconds. Over 920 million firearm transaction records were collected. More than 865 million were digitized. The court didn't just slap their wrist, they ordered full destruction. The ATF now has 90 days to provide certified proof that every digital file is gone beyond recovery. Law 5. No more warrantless digital spying. Federal agencies can no longer track lawful gun owners through their phones, purchases, or social media without a warrant tied to a real crime. For years, the ATF, FBI, DHS, and even the NSA ran surveillance programs targeting legal gun owners. Congressional testimony and leaked documents revealed the tactics: tracking your phone's location when you visited gun stores, flagging anyone who spent more than 10 minutes at a range, logging your credit card purchases from gun shops, and scraping social media for gun photos or Second Amendment hashtags. The court ruled that exercising a constitutional right can't be used as a reason for surveillance. Over 50,000 gun owners were being monitored. Many are now suing, and early settlements are averaging $40,000 to $65,000 per person. Law 6. 30-day permit deadline. Getting a concealed carry permit just got faster, cheaper, and easier nationwide. The court issued 3 new rules every state must follow. First, permits must be issued within 30 days of application. Second, states can't demand you prove good cause. Self-defense is reason enough. Third, total fees are capped at $50, including fingerprints and background checks. Before this, states like New York took 8 to 12 months, or up to 2 years in NYC. California often charged 100 or more. Now, 47,000 backlogged applications in New York alone must be auto-approved. Hawaii had only issued 226 permits statewide before this ruling. But what good is a permit if you can't even buy ammo? Law 7. Ammo sales are now free of red tape. Buying ammunition is now treated like any other legal product. States can't pile on special restrictions. Several states built entire systems to make buying bullets expensive and frustrating. That's over. California's background check for every ammo purchase? Gone. New York's ban on online ammo sales? Void. Connecticut's 1,000-round monthly limit? Eliminated. Illinois' separate ammo ID card? Dead. The court made it clear. A gun without ammo is useless, and treating bullets like contraband is unconstitutional. California ran over 4 million ammo background checks last year. 62,000 people were wrongly denied due to database errors. Online retailers report a 340% spike in sales to formerly restricted states in just 3 weeks. Law 8. FFL protection from paperwork traps. Gun stores now have the same legal protections as any other business. The ATF can no longer shut you down over minor paperwork mistakes. For decades, inspectors would scour record books for tiny errors, missing middle initials, hard-to-read serial numbers, wrong date formats. None of it involved actual crimes or guns going to banned buyers. But if they found enough clerical issues, they'd start license revocation. That's finished. The court ruled the ATF can only revoke a license if there's a real criminal violation. Last year alone, 122 FFLs were revoked over paperwork. One Pennsylvania dealer lost his license because 23 dates were written as MMDDYYYO instead of DDMMYYY. Law 9. Your home is off limits. Federal agents can no longer show up unannounced and demand to inspect your guns or records. For years, the ATF conducted compliance inspections at people's homes. No warrant, no crime, just a knock on the door. They'd ask to come in, check your collection, verify serial numbers. If you refused, they'd threaten investigations or license revocation. Most people, not knowing their rights, let them in. That's over. The court affirmed that the Fourth Amendment applies to gun owners too. Agents now need a warrant based on real criminal allegations. In the last 3 years, over 2,400 warrantless home inspections were conducted. If you were one of them in the past 6 years, you may have grounds to sue. Law 10. Cross-state travel protection. You can now drive through anti-gun states without fear of arrest, as long as your firearm is legal where you start and where you're going. For years, gun owners were terrified of passing through states like New York, New Jersey, Maryland, or California. A simple traffic stop could turn into a felony charge. Even if your gun was locked, unloaded, and stored properly, you could still be arrested. One man from Pennsylvania was driving to Vermont through New Jersey. He was pulled over for speeding. He told the officer his gun was locked in the trunk, unloaded, and legal in both PA and VT. He was still arrested and charged with a second-degree felony facing 5 to 10 years. That's now over. The court ruled if it's legal at your start and end point, you're protected under federal law the entire way. In New Jersey alone, over 800 people were arrested in the last 5 years for traveling with firearms. Every one of those cases is now being dismissed or overturned. These 10 changes just rewrote the rulebook for American gun owners. If you don't know your new rights, you could still be at risk. Cops are still catching up, so make sure you're informed first. Share this with every gun owner you know. This could stop someone from being wrongfully arrested. Make sure you subscribe to Weapons Law Advisor, and don't forget to like and comment on the video to help us reach our amazing milestone of 10,000 subscribers. Every single subscriber matters. Your support is what makes this journey possible.